All right, welcome back to our channel. We've been slow getting this video taken care of just because it's been so daunting. We've had a lot of things to go through in order to make this. This is going to be a video that goes over the costs of the house build. And it will also include the price of the land that we built on. Okay, so during the video you're going to see multiple photographs throughout the build from the very beginning through until we moved in. That's what we're going through. It's going to be just until we move in, the cost of that. And then when we've done other videos for the security bars and stuff, we've done costs for that as well, separately. So just so you're aware that this is based off of literally hundreds of receipts that we picked up.
A bunch.
We saved all the receipts knowing that we were going to do this, knowing that there would be a lot of questions about how much it cost, and
yeah, we tried to save every receipt.
And I'm sure that there's a few that we did miss, but the vast majority we did save, and it took a while to go through. So you'll see various things like sand and that kind of thing, cement even. The price fluctuates, and each truck and each delivery would have its own receipt. So we had a lot of receipts. And we saved them in envelopes and a kind of a folder that we had.
Yeah.
And it's taken a while to go through everything.
Yeah.
So at the end, you're going to see three totals, basically. And I'll explain it right now, so there's no question, and I'll explain it when we get down to that. You're going to have a labor total. That is the total labor cost that was paid for this build. You have the build total. The build total is everything, all the materials and labor.
Including the labor.
And then you have the land total. That was just the cost of the land. So the labor is included within the build total, but we wanted to separate the labor total for you so you knew how much, if you took the labor separately, how much that was. Okay, so with that, we're going to start. You'll see some screenshots, basically like a photograph of this paperwork that we've done here. And I'm just kind of going through this. And throughout the video, you're going to see, you don't have to look at us all the time, but you're going to see photographs of the build. And so I think that's a little more interesting than sitting here looking at us. So we'll start. The house build costs were based off of an exchange rate of 51 Philippine pesos to $1 US. The exchange rate fluctuated between 50.5 and 51.5 throughout the build. So that's why we decided we were going to go ahead and do 51. And so all of these numbers, all of these costs were done at an exchange rate of 51 to $1. Okay, so we're going to start off with the hollow blocks. We got 5-inch hollow blocks. They were strengthened with additional cement. Total, we had 4,100 pieces of those hollow blocks.
That's all in for everything.
That is for everything. That is for the house. That is for literally everything.
For the farmhouse.
All of it.
Everything. Be nice. Be nice.
So we had 4,100 pieces. That totaled in the very end. That totaled 54,300 Philippine pesos. Okay, when you change that into US dollars, you come out with 1,064 US dollars. Okay, and 70 cents. I'm not going to do the cents. I'm just going to do the main number for the US dollars. Okay, so just a little bit over $1,000 for the hollow blocks total for the entire build. Okay, sand, we got into separate types of sand. We had the sand for concrete mixing. We had 9 elf trucks for a total of 14,400 Philippine pesos. We had sand gravel mix for fill of the house and for the right-of-way road. We had 11 of those elf trucks for 15,400 Philippine pesos. And then we had white sand for plastering inside and out. We had 8 elf trucks for 20,000 Philippine pesos. So with those 3 separate types of sand, we came up with a total of 49,800 Philippine pesos. And you turn that into US dollars, it's 976 US dollars. Gravel, we did use some gravel. We didn't use a whole lot of gravel. The gravel that we got actually lasted quite a while. 4 elf trucks at a total of 10,000. Okay, and when you change that over to US dollars, it's $196. All right, so the steel was expensive. We used a lot of steel. During the initial part of the build, we actually increased the usage of steel for additional columns and half columns and stuff like that to strengthen the house. So we used 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, and 16 millimeter, and you can see by the list we had 770 pieces of 10 millimeter for a total of 124,250 Philippine peso.
Nice.
You can see Odin here. He wants to help with the videos now. He wants to be part of everything. The 12 millimeter, we got 350 pieces of that for 79,800 Philippine pesos, and the 16 millimeter, we got 100 pieces at 39,900 Philippine pesos. So the 16 millimeter steel was used for the initial columns to make them really strong. So the steel total was 243,950 Philippine pesos. Changed into US dollars, it's 4,783, which was a significant amount, but
it's a lot.
We used a lot of steel, and we beefed up from the original blueprints and the original plans. We actually beefed it up quite a bit, so we made it a lot stronger than what was called for. So initially, what was called for, we would not have used this amount of steel. It would have been significantly lower. We move on to paint category. It's really not paint. It's more of just primer, epoxy gray primer, 5 gallons of that, lacquer thinner, paintbrush and roller. That was for
the truss?
The steel, for anything that needed to be basically protected from rust, the trusses and stuff like that. The 16 millimeter steel and that kind of thing did not, because it was actually encased in concrete. So the total for the paint section here was 4,484 Philippine pesos, or 87 US dollars. Okay, the electrical was a big pain for us. Every time we thought we were done with the electrical, it turned out we weren't, and we needed to get more.
Yeah.
So we were constantly turning around and going back and getting additional elbows or pipe or wire, or whatever it may be, junction boxes. You can see that we had a large number of elbows, and then we had another elbow, and the electrical wire, there's 11 of them. Those are boxes of electrical wire. Those are not one type of wire. That was several different types, and we just put it all into one for a grand total just for wire. Just that was 40,940 Philippine pesos. You can see the light switches, the outlets, the pin lights, all of that different stuff, and we tried to throw it all in. Total for the electrical section here was 61,185 Philippine pesos, which equates to 1,199 US dollars. Okay, so lumber, move on to lumber. Lumber, we used a very little bit of higher quality wood, not very much at all. Almost all of the wood that we used was cocoa lumber, and that was for the framing, for the molds for the concrete and everything else. So, but we still had quite a few. You can see 210 2x2x12, and that's, that's a significant amount of money. That's 20,000 pesos just there. So the lumber, to include plywood for the shed that we built to house the cement, total was 38,795 Philippine pesos, which makes 760 US dollars. Okay, cement. This is a lot, but if you think about what we did, and if you've watched our videos, you can tell that we used a significant amount under the ground. Basically, you can't see it right now. So that included the entire build, plus the plastering, the pump house, and use in tiling for the floor. We used 875 pieces, 875 bags, for a total of 175,900 Philippine pesos, which equates to 3,449 US dollars. And just a side note on cement, when we did the cement, normally when we began, it was either 150 or 100 bags orders each time. And then when we started to get down around 50, we would order another significant big order. As the build went on and we got closer to being done, we started to scale that back a little bit. And we began to go from 150 to 100 to 50, down to 25, down to 10, and down to 5. And it actually worked out where we had none left over. We did not have any left over. We used every single bag of concrete, or cement, excuse me, that we ordered. We did not have any additional stuff left over. The roof is really expensive as far as if you compare everything else to it. You can see the roof is lots of angle bars, C-purlins, flat bars, more angle bars, welding rods, channel bars, all of that stuff. We went with a little bit higher grade because knowing what the Philippines is like and the typhoons, we wanted to make sure that two things were done a little bit more than what was called for. That one was the foundation of the house, and we strengthened that with additional columns and additional steel, and the roof. So we went with a little bit higher quality, thickness angle bars and stuff like that. So you get down to the very bottom of that list, it's color steel. That's the actual roofing that is on the house. It is expensive, but that price includes the insulation that was put under it as well. So we have the color steel roofing, and then the insulation, and then the trusses and the C-purlins and stuff like that. So roof total is 417,050 Philippine pesos, which equates to 8,177 US dollars. And that is a significant amount of money, but I think it's well worth it. And we did a roof on our house back in the United States that had to be replaced because it wasn't done correctly the first time. And it ran $10,000, and that's a asphalt shingle roof. So we're back onto the list here on the plumbing. We have the PPR plumbing, which is the white pipe. This is a little bit higher quality than the blue water line that you see a lot of here. We've used the water line that's blue. It works fine. We just wanted a little bit thicker piping and a little bit better quality. I believe the PPR, I believe what I read was that it is good for 25 years. And it is connected by heating up the two ends and basically melting them together. And we had no issues with leaks or anything like that. So far. The blue works well. We haven't had any issues really with the blue when we were renting, because we did some plumbing on the rental. But that is connected with use of cement, the plastic cement. But so the PPR, we had to grab a few extra items, but overall one list, and it was pretty well done. So the plumbing total came to 5,205 Philippine pesos, which equates to 102 US dollars. We get into the miscellaneous, and you have multiple different items on this list. Phenolic board, which I'm not sure I spelled correctly, but that is the form board. You cut and use that to make your forms for the concrete pours. We had 13 of those, lots of tie wire, lots of nails. We had, this is assorted nails because we had so many different nails and we had a lot of them. So just in nails, we had about $120 worth of nails. You have the tarp, you have the level hose, metal sheets, tin roofing with the doors, and the door jambs are on here. The water tank that we bought to assist us in the water problems, the granite, just all the floor tiles, all of this, just under miscellaneous.
That's a lot.
So the miscellaneous total is 213,067 Philippine pesos, which equates to 4,177 US dollars. So now we get down to the very bottom of our list, and like I said at the beginning, we separated out so you can see our total labor cost for this entire build was 600,000 Philippine pesos. That equals out to 11,764 US dollars. That total of labor is included in the build total. The build total was 1.87 million Philippine peso, which equals 36,739 US dollars. So that includes the labor and all the materials and everything that we just went through.
From start to finish.
Start until we moved in.
Yeah, not to finish, from start till we moved in.
So the land total, we've had a lot of questions about the land. We have right at 3 acres. And the land cost us 1.2 million Philippine pesos, which equals 23,529 US dollars. Okay, so we wanted to throw that in there because we want to make sure that everybody who's got a question about it, and we've had a lot of viewers ask us, you know, they're thinking about moving here and getting some land and building a house and doing that kind of thing. And so they're curious about what it's costing. Our all-in total for everything from buying the land to getting the house up and moving in was just over 3 million Philippine pesos, which equals 60,196 US dollars. Now, mind you, that's going to change depending on where in the Philippines you are at.
Yeah.
You can find it higher priced, you can find it lower priced. It just depends on where you're located. Same with the labor cost. The labor cost will change depending on where you're at. The material cost, everything will change depending on where in the Philippines you are. If you're in an area that doesn't have access to a lot of things, then your cement may be higher, or your sand may be higher, or your steel may be higher. So it just depends on where you're at. So this was ours, and hopefully that this sheds a lot of light for everybody. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. As always, we appreciate everyone watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends and family. Have them subscribe if they haven't.
And let us know what you think of the all-in cost.
Yeah, what do you guys
cost.
think? Is this too much? Is it too little? Is it, what do you think?
Unrealistic?
This is about as close as we could possibly come to being down to the penny. And it took a lot to save everything in order to come up with this list. So like the video if you like it. Again, share with your friends and family. Have them subscribe if you would, please. Comment down below. Tell us what you would like to see more of. And as always, join us again for our adventures in the Philippines. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.